Okay, so I know we have people joining us online, and I want to believe maybe Lawa is the one monitoring and tracking what is going on online. At this point, if you are joining us online, please could you make use of the chat room and just say good morning to us wherever you are joining us from. If you are joining from the Vicarage, so say good morning, Vicarage. If you are joining us from Naidus, say good morning, Naidus, wherever you are joining us from. Please, quick. And I need Mr. Lawa, just do like this if they are already chatting. Make use of that chat room because that's the only way we can get you involved and engaged. Thank you so much. I can't see you, but I know that you are there somewhat. All right, so formally, good morning, everybody. It's really a great pleasure that we have come to this point whereby we want to begin to introduce some culture that would really help all of us to enjoy this environment more than we've always done, and also to be able to derive more satisfaction and also to add value to the organization in a different way as we move on. So this morning, we are starting this initiative called Business-Focused Learning Session. All right. The whole idea is that today we know that for any organization to be able to compete effectively in the marketplace, learning must be critical, must be central to the strategy of that organization. Why? Because nobody can give you what they don't have. Learning is the process through which we try to equip people, empower people, and give them the requisite, skills, knowledge, and competence that they need to do what they do. So this has become very, very critical and important for all of us. And it is on that basis that I feel that we should establish this properly. From my interaction with a couple of people, even Pastor Femi and a host of others, they said that we've attempted something like this in the past. So what we are doing this morning is not new. Tell your neighbor, say it's not new. It's nothing new, all right? But again, we just need to, bring it back, revamp it, and make it stay, all right? Let it be something that each of us can actually really benefit from rather in a more structured way, okay? So this morning, I am going to be taking us through what we said, all you need to know about the business-focused learning session. This isn't working. And my slide is not moving. What's happening? Everybody say release. I'm gonna, No, it's not coming up. Should we escape it and bring it up again? Okay, I should just use that now. Okay, so this morning, usually when I do training, I always want to show you that this is the menu. And from the menu, you already anticipate what to take away from the conversation. Not to take much of our time, we're going to be looking at what is this all about? Why the learning journey? Why do you want to embark on this journey? And of course, again, there's no how you can speak about learning without considering the concept of learning organization. All right, learning organization essentially means an organization that has created an enabling environment for continuous learning to happen. All right, and I believe that learning is growing. If you stop learning, you stop growing. All right, some people actually say that learning is living. If you stop learning, you start dying. All right, so and again, learning is the more you learn, the more you earn. So there's a whole lot of things that you can tie to people becoming intentional about their learning, about what they look out for. So I'm going to also be sharing the modalities. How would this happen? How are we going to continue with this particular session and make it convenient for all of us, whether you are here or out there and all of that. And the last I'm going to be talking about is the structure and the content that we're going to be, presenting on daily basis or each time we come together. So, but before we dive in straight away, I need to just bring to our attention some interesting quotes about learning. The very first one is from Peter Drucker. Everybody know that Peter Drucker is considered as the father of the modern day management. All right. And he says something very interesting. So we now accept the fact that learning is a lifelong process. Everybody say lifelong. So which means as long as you are living, you're supposed to be learning. The same way we breathe here every day is the same way we should be learning. And as a matter of fact, I also belong to the school of thought that learning, the capacity for us to learn is inbuilt. So some of us, even if we don't send our children to school, they will learn simply because that capacity to learn is already in us. So, but the challenge most of the time is that we don't deploy the capacity. And beyond the capacity to learn, there is also the ability to learn. Ability to learn essentially is a skill. Capacity to learn is a gift because God created all of us and he gave us the capacity to learn. All right, but beyond capacity to learn and the ability to learn, there is one critical component that will always ensure that learning happens, and that is the willingness to learn. Why is that so? Because willingness to learn is a choice. Everybody say it's a choice. Learn, choose not to. Whether you choose to or not, you have that capacity, which is a gift. You have the ability, which is a skill. Ability to, which is a skill. Essentially, the reason why I can believe that everybody in this room will have ability to learn is because we graduated the least, maybe OND, or the least, even primary school, whatever it is. It means that you've deployed that your capacity consistently, in a subject area over a period of time, and you gain mastery. Then we say, this person is skillful in that area because you've been able to show to us that you have that capacity. So this guy said that, we must always keep abreast of what is going on, all right? And said, and the most pressing task is to teach people how to learn, which is what we are trying to do, to teach ourselves how to learn. It is not my quote, it is Peter Drucker. And these are people that they devoted their life to study organizations and how organizations can track. And of course, beyond that, we have Francis Esselstyn says that culture does not change because we desire to change it. Anything that is left to itself, it is left for decay. If you leave something without touching it, it's going to decay. So if you say that you want a culture and you are not doing anything about it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And that's why he's saying that, look, culture changes when the organization is transformed. Transformation is an intentional process, all right? And the culture reflects the realities of people working together every day. We work together every day. So we need to define the new realities that we want to see. I need to define the way I want to interact with PE, how I want to interact with Trust Investor, several other people. We must have a way of life within the Fountain of Light Church organization. So the last but not the least is the single, Josh Besson said, he says that the single biggest driver of business impact is the strength of an organization's learning culture. So you will agree with me now that what we are doing is critical. It's not a waste of your time. Yeah, because some people always ask, why are they asking me to come for training, for learning? Nobody knows it all. Even me, as I'm delivering this, I'm learning. I'm soaking in things. By the time we start picking questions, I'm going to learn more. And that is actually the driver of impact in organization. Ever say driver of impact in organization? So each time you learn, you realize that you are contributing to the total knowledge base of all of us as a collective in the Fountain of Life Church. So before we go further, I want somebody to tell me what is our new mission statement. Our new mission statement. Somebody? Online, please. And please, online, excuse me, don't go Google, all right? Because we can't see you, but don't go Google. But if you know it, you can, indicate, and Laura will allow you to speak to us. Quick, please. Thank you. Anybody online? As a matter of fact, I want to exempt people from the vicarage. Because I know that they are the custodian of that stuff. Because they are not here physically, we wouldn't know whether. Nobody? Seriously. So which means by the next, business-focused learning session, I want everybody to be able to say it. But essentially, I myself, when I realized that we needed to discuss it and we needed to connect with it, even this morning, how to ensure that I put it up here, all right? And simply says that the Fountain of Life Church, all right, is a mission established to raise, all right, disciple, and to do what? To grow a movement of leaders and influencers. Now, key things that you need to know is that we are a mission established, all right, to raise, disciple, and to do what? To grow. What are we growing? Leaders, a movement of leaders and influencers. Everybody say leaders and influencers. So which means all of us, like Pastor Jay said the other time, that every Fountainer is a leader and an influencer, all right? They are living out God's kingdom's culture. We are not just leaders, because there are leaders everywhere, but what differentiate us, our own type or kind of leadership and influencing, all right, is the fact that we are living out God's kingdom's culture, all right, in terms of spirituality, family, all right, relationships, enterprise, government, media, entertainment, and of course, education. So if you look at that mission alone also, there is no how we can say that we want to achieve that mission without all of us, sorry, please. So without all of us coming together to learn daily, that's what we want to do. And that is why this is not just another fanciful initiative. It is an integral part of what we do and who we are, or who we claim that we are. Are we together, please? Are we together? So now, what is this business-focused learning session all about? It's an initiative designed to do what? To empower us. Empowerment within the workplace, it talks about three things: knowledge, skills, and attitude. Empowerment is synonymous with competence. When you are empowered, it means that you are competent, all right? And when you are competent, you'll be confident. And most times when you struggle on the job, you don't know what to do, is because something is missing out of those three things. Because knowledge simply means that you know, no marker for me, all right. So competence is a function of three things. It's actually made up of three interlocking components. The knowledge means that you know what to do. What to do. And skill, somebody has that a guess? How to do. How to do. And the last component, which is A, even when you say KSA, sometimes what comes to your mind is King Sunny Ade, isn't it? Yeah, but don't forget, it's speaking to competence. So because at the intersection of these three is what we call competence. Competence. So attitude is what? It's now the willingness to do. So anytime you see this in organization, knowledge and skills speaks to your aptitude. Everyone say aptitude. It speaks to your aptitude. And there is a general saying that your aptitude, which is this knowledge plus skill, your aptitude plus your attitude, which is this, will determine your altitude. Everyone say altitude. So altitude is your upward progression in life. How far you go, how well you get along with people determines your ultimate success in life. So because sometimes you will see some people, they know so much and they know how to do things, but they lack the right attitude. Are you with me? So because once you lack the right attitude, you are incompetent as far as this equation is concerned. You are. Because nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Caring means that you are willing You are stepping out of your way to make something better, to, to bring solution, to a problem and all of that. So I am saying this morning that what we want to devote this session to do is to equip us with the right, enhance, not equip. All right, and I can use equip too. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that you don't know anything. I'm the one coming to hurt. But this is what is going to bring all of us together, all right, to learn. And the more I know about what is happening in different aspects of the organization, the more effective we'll be able to work together as a people. Everyone say, I understand. I understand. People online, please, if you don't mind, help me type check. If you are following us up to now, type check. 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 It's a way of also confirming that you are not in the bedroom. All right. Okay. They are there. Okay, good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move on to say, okay, if we establish this business, focused learning session, it means that we are making a statement that we want to embrace the culture of learning. And there's something about the learning culture and organizations that so this is still about what I'm saying it is an environment, which is the environment we are creating and we are setting out to establish from today. It demonstrates and encourages individual and organizational learning. And we are both, gaining and sharing, all right? And sharing knowledge is prioritized, valued, and rewarded. Because at the end of the day, when people know better, they will do better. It means that when we begin to, equip ourselves with information and knowledge to make us, perform better on the job, definitely the reward will come. Yeah, it will be obvious to everybody who needs to be, encouraged for doing a good job and all of that. And on this side, basic or generic benefits of learning culture. As we are establishing this learning culture today, one key thing that you will notice is that it's going to increase employee engagement and morale. It's going to reduce employee turnover. All right. I stay long in most of the organizations that I work because of the learning opportunities, the opportunity for me to develop myself, the opportunity for me to be able to grow beyond the money that I've been paid. I don't know whether it was Brass Sylvester or Pastor Femi that was saying that. I think this makes sense. People need to begin to understand that beyond your salary is not all that you are created to earn in an organization. Oh yes, salary is not the only thing that organization needs to pay you for you to find fulfillment. A conducive environment is a form of reward to make you live life, in a very, fulfilling way. Because I'm thankful to God that we are not an organization that encourages toxicity. There are some organizations that are so toxic that people, they're only going there because of salary. Nothing else inspires them to go. I once passed through such an organization. Every day, as I'm like 100 meters to the office, and speaking in tongues, and that's the truth. I don't know what's going to happen. I kept, you know how some of us anyway, some of you may not be religious, some of us, we still have some form of religiosity in us, all right? Whereby when I'm feeling uncomfortable, I start speaking in tongues. I feel that maybe something is going to go wrong somewhere. And that is fear. Are you with me? So again, this is going to, we're also going to benefit from upskilling and reskilling. It means that what you know more, what you don't know will add to you, all right? And planning for new growth opportunities, improving productivity, increasing agility, and of course, general workforce planning as well. So ladies and gentlemen, there are certain characteristics that you will not find in an organization that is not a learning organization. And these are a few of them. And if I can tell you, you need to begin to ask yourself, do we have anything like that around here? Or do I even exhibit anything like that around here? So it's time for me to throw them away and embrace a new one. So see, employees, he said, are you too busy to improve? Look at that picture. What do you think is going on there? Anybody wants to talk? Please, quick. Can you figure out what that picture is saying? That picture, the guy holding the wheel and is calling these other guys. They said, no, thanks. This one said, we are too busy. What's happening? It's giving see the wheel of what they are pushing. Don't you know that a lot of effort will be, required? A lot of energy, time wasted, and all of that. And someone said, come and take this wheel so that you can go faster and be more efficient. He said, no, thanks, we are busy. You are too busy driving to stop to get gas. Do you get that? Can you really truly be busy? You are driving and your dashboard is telling you that you are on red, your fuel is on red. No, I must get to that destination. Where will you get to? You get stuck somewhere on the line. So these are the kind of things that can result into that. Employees have fixed mindset. Remember we said that learning culture is a mindset. All right, fixed mindset is a closed mindset. And the opposite of that is either growth or open mindset. He said, you'll find that the egos are important in that organization culture. Everybody's always wanting to prove what they know instead of learning from others what they don't know. All right, we allow ego to come in the way. And there's something interesting I always say about ego. Never allow your ego to stand in the way of your ego. You understand? An ego can represent a lot of things. Can represent your progress, your promotion, your advancement. When you display ego, most of the time, it will impede you from moving forward. We don't want that to happen. So fear and blame are cultural issues. Communication is not effective. People are always hiding things from each other. There's no free flow of information in the organization. And of course, goals are not common. We are not working with a unity of purpose or unity of purpose, as it were. We're not working with one common goal, and we need to be able to do that. And of course, engagement and retention can be low if employees like things to stay the same, all right? And engagement can be high, but innovation will be low. So in other words, if we are always struggling to protect what has been, all right, it's going to slow our progress from moving forward. Innovation will not happen, but we need to be ready to do what? To even audit what has been, challenge what has been, all right, query what has been. And if we, after all our auditing and querying and investigating what has been, and we realize that yes, it is still okay to take us forward, we continue with it. But we must always be open to challenging the status quo. Don't your neighbor say, please challenge the status quo. And guess what? My own definition of innovation is this. And I think I must have mentioned it here before. My definition of innovation is that whatever it is that is given to you within the organization, you must keep it in a perpetual state of improvement. Every day you are asking, what can I do differently? What new things can I introduce to what I do? And all of us, we have capacity to do that. It's already 9, but trust me, in fact, Pastor PD was saying that probably if it is learning session, it doesn't have to be 30 minutes so that we can actually get a whole lot more. But I think max maybe 45 minutes. Is that fine by everybody? Is that fine by us, please? All right, so I would soon bring this home. So I believe that the way we have always done it is the right way. Okay, that's in the organization without a learning culture, and there is no need for change. So we are fine the way we are, just like those. All right, we are fine. Leave us, okay? But we can't. We need to change things. We need to challenge things. And of course, some people always say that they know better. In school, some people we call ITK. What's that? I too know. All right, we have it in organizations too, because nobody can challenge your territory. What territory? What's it? We must all have the humility to be open for, feedback. Somebody said that feedback is the breakfast of champion. If you're a champion indeed, you must be receptive to feedback. You must be. By the way, can you hear me online? Let them put check if they can hear me online, just to be sure that we are still together, please. Online,
yes,
can hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, good.
Check.
So now these are the things that we want to discard, and these are the things that we want to embrace going forward. All right. The characteristics of a business or an organization with a learning culture. The very first thing you will notice is that they have what? A growth mindset, which is the opposite of the closed mindset or the fixed mindset in the organization without a learning culture. And of course, they never finish learning. Learning no they finish, just like Hallelujah no go finish. Learning must not finish. Are you guys with me? All right. And of course, the need to train and develop staff, which is what we are doing, and we're going to do a whole lot more of things like this. There will be opportunities for us at some point even to bring people from outside to come and speak to us. There will be opportunities sometimes to even send some people out there to go and learn somewhere else and come back to implementing what they have learned. And of course, their organization needs an open culture, all right, with clear two-way communication. You can speak to the leaders can speak to others, all right? And of course, they need to encourage employees to challenge the status quo, which is what I just mentioned now. We must challenge the status quo, all right, and ask questions and bring new ideas to the table. They also need to empower employees, giving them opportunities to make what? To make what? So mistakes is not the problem. It is how you treat the mistakes that is the problem. As a matter of fact, some organizations, they've already set budget aside for mistakes. Oh, yes. They have, when I was in FCMB, we did something and we created a document called Innovation Governance. If you want to drive innovation, you must be ready for people to fail. But one of the things is that people, whenever you're trying something new and you discover that it's not going to work, fail fast and fail forward. In fact, fail cheap also, because the earlier you know that this is not going to work and you cut your losses and you move on, the better. But that should not deter or stop people from always trying new things. And you must always allow people to make their mistake. Guess what? Somebody said that if you are doing something for the first time and you get it wrong, we shouldn't scold you. But when you are doing the same thing the second time and you are doing it wrong, that's when we should sanction you. Are you with me? Are we still together? All right, so moving on, ladies and gentlemen, it said they need to what? Empower employees, giving them opportunities to make mistakes and grow in a safe environment. And fear is the enemy of growth. That's it. Once you are afraid, you are not what has been, because you are afraid. All right, so I'm going to explain this particular part to you. This here, you can see the levels of learning culture. But for me, this is 3. But I've always advocated for 4 levels of learning. All right. The first level of learning is the organizational level. Everybody say organizational. All right. At that organizational level, what you are looking at how to ingrain the mission and the values of the organization in everybody. Everybody must know it, and they must reflect it in everything they do. So the organization must keep teaching people on how to really learn that which binds us together as an organization. And of course, after organizational is the team. Teams means people in finance, what they need to know, what they need to learn is different from what the branding and culture shaping people needs to know. And what they need to know is different from what facilities needs to know, or the pastoral team needs to know, those that are within the organization part. So don't think that I'm missing it up. I'm not, because we have a few pastors within also. All right. So the truth is, we need to also recognize learning at the organizational level, learning at the team level, and learning at the individual level. And at the individual level, it now means that, all of us in this room, trust me, we have different learning goals. There's a lady that is pregnant among us. I'm sure if you check her now, she'll be reading a whole lot about pregnancy. She'll be reading a whole lot on how to take care of babies or something like that. Do you understand? That is a personal learning need for her. And by the time she puts to bed, probably she will be reading more about breastfeeding and stuff like that. But yet it's still learning, because learning pays us. Learning takes us further. Learning gives us clarity about what to do in life and all of that. But these are all the 3 levels. But there's a 4th level that I always advocate for, and that is the industry learning. The sector that we operate in, there is something that is central for everybody. For instance, since I joined, I've been trying to speak to heads of HR or people that are working in other churches. I've never worked in this sector before. So I need to understand what are the prevailing issues, what are the prevailing trends. The finance in this sector, how are they treating certain things? The HR in this sector, are they treating certain things? The facility management people, are they treating certain things? And I can assure you right now, if I don't know anything, I know that for all the churches right now, online strategy has become, it's not in the front burner. For any forward-looking church, that is what is on it. They are always thinking of how can we get our online strategy right. So, which means, as they're learning about it, I can reach out to them to learn, to understand what they do. And just generally, there's something they call a peer review. We can always ask questions from we are a church, we can't say competitors, but we can say our peers, people that want to benchmark our services and our standard and procedures with. Are we together? So that's that. I'm not going to touch this. Okay, well, so this simply now means that the moment we have that in place, how do we make it happen? The first thing that we need to do to make it happen is what we are doing right now. The first one is make time. Apart from making time, we must do what? We must also reward learning. At some point, this learning, I was telling Lakon that this learning session and generally every learning activities will form a component of our performance appraisal system. Oh, yes. Because that's why on that performance management system, there is a concept called balanced scorecard. The balanced scorecard performance management system says that you don't measure the health or the well-being of your organization simply by their financial well-being. For the fact that money is coming in, for the fact that you are selling, for the fact that your revenue is growing, doesn't mean that you are healthy. All right? But it says that you must consider 3 other components of the business, which has to do with your internal processes must be right. Yeah, your customer perspective must be right. Your customers must be happy with you. In our own case, who are our customers? All the people that comes to the Fountain of Light, they must see that things that are working fine. The vendors and the suppliers that we interact with must know that things are fine, and they must comply with our own SLA kind of, so that we can maintain a standard that will not bring us down. I know that a couple of times I've interacted with people in finance. They have a lot of concern to be able to comply with regulatory standards. Yes, regulatory standards. So by the time we come to learning, I know that IFRS will be key, things that people need to know. And you have different standards in that IFRS 9, 11, 9, and all of that. They have different aspects. And you guys need to just know and be able to do. So we need to reward people for doing what, even training themselves. How do we do it? There must be some points that will count for you in your performance appraisal. Because when we are looking for people to put in position of higher responsibility, we're going to pick people that are already equipped and they've already, trained themselves, or probably we have been able to train them. One way or the other, you'll be ahead of the pack. So learners are leaders. That's the clear thing about life. And of course, mix it up. Mix it up means that it's not just going to be learning. I've been talking all along. It must get to a point in FCMB, and I was, again, I have to tell you where I'm coming from. So in FCMB, during this kind of session, all right, we devote a particular month of the year, which is December 3, for what? FCMB's Got Talent. And we're not coming to teach, we're just coming to have fun. And people will come with all kinds of natural gifts and talents that they have. See some people coming to, recite poems. Some people coming with fashion parade. Some people coming, bringing keyboard to the office. Some people coming, different things. Some people will come and do a skit, drama and all of that. And some people will sing and all of that, just to let us know that at the end of the day, it's not just all learning and learning and learning. We must get to the point whereby we mix it all with some kind of fun. Of course, find experts. I've mentioned that we're going to be bringing some experts into our midst to speak to us. And of course, let's start from the top. Why? It's important that we all get the direction right. So after today's session, the people you are going to be seeing are the leaders within this organization, and they'll be coming to speak to us about what they do, how we can make what they do better. In fact, they will need to tell us how we have been making their work difficult, all right? And we too can tell them where they have been making our work difficult. And generally, we can arrive at the way forward that will make life, easy for everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't touch on this concept of learning organization again, but I need to let you know that for you as an individual, you must embrace continuous learning and professional development for yourself. Way back where I'm coming from, we used to have 60 hours of training budgeted for every staff every year. That's approximately a week of training. Max 2 weeks. I said that if you look at that, maybe 10 days of training out of 365 days in a year, and you think that is sufficient to sustain you for the whole of the year, that's not true. So beyond what the organization is doing for you, you must also be seeking to develop yourself. Do that certification. Write that professional exam. Invest in yourself. It will even make more sense when you are doing it and you're halfway and you need help. People will know that you have started something. And that can be a way to really, if what you are doing really aligns, with the goals and objectives of the business of the organization. So basically what I'm saying is I'm encouraging everybody, develop yourself. You really don't know when a bigger opportunity that will place a demand of that investment that you have made on yourself will show up for you. Okay, so you need to plan it, you need to also implement it and review it, and probably also ensure that you continually improve on it. So modalities for this going forward, ladies and gentlemen, 8:30 to 9, but as we can see, probably that might not be sufficient. Let's just budget like maybe 9:15, okay? 9:15, and we'll be good. And of course, in terms of topic, we intend to cover all range of functional areas within the organization. And in terms of mode, it's going to be digital, just like what we are doing today, okay? And beyond that, the structure, I'm going to ask the brand people to say whether we can continue with this template, but I will want a uniform template to be used for all our learning sessions. So if this is fine, I'll give it to you, your team, let them check. You can change it, but just give us something that can become a standard template that all of us will be working with. All right, so bring it home. In conclusion, as we embark on this learning adventure together, remember that your active participation is key to maximizing the benefits. And of course, we foster a culture of curiosity, collaboration, and continuous improvement within our organization. So ladies and gentlemen, here I drop my mic. Thank you. So now it's exactly 9:15 or 9:16. But I think it's important that we take at least comments from online And probably we take one comment also from here. PD, come here while people are getting ready. Please appreciate PD as it comes.
For 20 years of being outside, I just thought, look, let me go home. People are Japan and Japan dying. So I do not even take it for granted at all. I love to be here. This is somebody offered me a job in Abuja. I said, no, I'm in Lagos, but everything here. We will sort out Abuja. In fact, Abuja can come to me. So the essence of what Brother Shola is trying to put together for all of us, once I heard it, I bought into it because the Fountain of Life Church, first of all, we know it's a family church, and we sort of try our best to look after ourselves in the best way.
Any comment? What is there?
Okay, we are sitting together. Say, are you friends? Yes, we're colleagues. But you just have to take it an extra step. I'm not saying that you should show them where you buy your shoes so that I can go and buy all you wearing slippers. No. I'm saying that there's another level of protection that I must be able to give the person next to me or the person that I work with, so that we won't just come here and it's just hard and fast. There's got to be some level of improvement that I must be able to bring to you. A lot of people now say, what I bring into the table. You know what I mean? So with this, you can learn emotional intelligence. When when I was much younger in the choir, I was the head of choir, I'm Sister Elsie too. I could go to somebody and we're singing and say, hey, are you singing the same song that these people are singing? Of course, it will be discouraging to that person. But all I'm trying to say is, it's what you're doing. But now I can go to the person and say, and I'm singing what the person is meant to be singing. And I say, okay, let's sing it together. So I won't say, is it? No, this is not the same song. But no, at all. I won't do that. So we are able to learn, with great learning comes great power. The only place where the people will perish from the word of God is a lack of what?
Knowledge.
It's a lack of good clothes, lack of fine things. It is a lack of big house.
Lack of salary.
Or lack of salary. Knowledge. They say what you don't know won't hurt you. It will.
It does.
It always does. So please, let's not take this thing as Brother Shola coming to talk, anybody he calls to come. I learn from him every day, and I hope he's learning something from me.
Don't mind him, he's been humble.
No, but the truth is, in this place, in this room, we are loaded enough.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, there's a point I didn't make, and I wanted to, just draw on the fact that there's a guy in IT now. All right. I don't want all of you start running after him. He's my best buddy right now. And he's one of the youngest in that place. And it's because I'm learning from him. So humility is a means that will help you to be able to learn from anybody. All right. The guy knows. And of course, the boss also knows. So we should be humble to be able to learn from one another.
So the last thing I really want to say, you mentioned it, ASA, that A, attitude. We need to make this environment the kind of place where I'm going to work in Fountain and I'm driving quick. Why? I just want to meet my colleagues. I want people that we have to change. Somebody's coming and you're changing direction. That person has altered your destiny. Because if you can change lane constantly because of that person, you're going to keep changing the way you feel because of that person. That means that person is powerful, more powerful than you. Why? You are the one changing because of that person. That's the truth. So I want to be coming here and say, Fountain, I'm going to work. It may not be happening now, but it will happen because of us. We are powerful enough. Yeah, in this room, everybody has something to give.
Yeah.
Don't you ever think
Yeah.
that you're too minute or your presence there doesn't matter. No, it does. We need each other to survive. So please, let's even change the culture of our thinking first, and then it will show up in our life. It's very important. If you want the notes, ask him.
Yeah, thank you. PD. Thank you, PD. Any comment online, please? No comment. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a comment for all of us. It said this was an awesome learning session. I'm excited about this opportunity to learn and grow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Omotara, for being a part of this, and also for sharing your own takeaway from it. All right. So as we wrap up, the mission is not impossible. It is not. All right. I may not be able to go into details of these, but at some point when I come back again, I'm going to tell you why you should always believe that no matter what you have given to do, the mission is not impossible. Though we think in references, frames, and boxes. All right. That's usually the reason we naturally reject or struggle to accept anything that doesn't sit within our frames of reference or experiences. What we call impossible most of the time, ladies and gentlemen, is possible. All right, on another level of reasoning, competence, skill set, exposure, and determination. And guess what? It simply means that we must be willing to break boxes. There are some boxes that we must break. Boxes we've been carrying all this while. So every time we approach a problem, we often find ourselves naturally gravitating towards the references we are familiar with. Our minds begin to race in search of any examples from our personal history, background, experiences, or other parts of our life's journey. And those are the boxes, actually. All right. So this morning, as we step out of this place, we must resolve to begin to look for those boxes that we must break. So what are the boxes we must break? When I say mention them, you just say break that box. Routine, familiarity, convenience, personal preference, short-term thinking, perceived limitations, real limitations. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I bring us to the end of this training properly, and God bless you. Go out there and make magic happen. Don't forget, 2024 was a great year. In